So the Buffalo Bills hired Joe Brady as the new head coach, and sorry about that. But kind of won me over a little bit. So we'll see. Talk is cheap. We'll see if anything changes and everything. And not only that, they hired the new head coach as Joe Brady, former offensive coordinator, and it basically wasn't Josh Allen's idea or anything like that. But they also hired the new offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael. He's not going to obviously call plays. That's Joe Brady's job. And Joe Brady is going to call the offense that he said. And everybody's like, oh, so who we're going to get is a defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. And, you know, we'll have to, we're all waiting and seeing what happens. They're going to take their time, and, but it's got to happen sooner than later. And they did. They hired Jim Leonard. He was my top guy that I wanted for defensive coordinator. Offense, it would have been Seattle, but he's going to the Raiders, but they can't officially make that announcement until um, April 9th, or April 9th, February 9th. So, to me, we'll have to wait and see. They did hire a special teams coach, Jeff Rogers, is the Bills, stuff like that. I written down some stuff, and the Bills' offense was first in rushing, as you all well know, and so Bills were number one in rushing with 2,714 yards, and second in total offense. Second in the NFL with 6,394 total yards and 376.3 yards per game. That's very good. Rushing offense, they were first in the NFL, like I said, with 2,714 yards. They were averaging 159.6 per game, 30 rushing touchdowns, scoring third in the NFL with scoring of 481 points, averaging on 28.3% per game. Turnovers, they were 19th in turnovers for the defense, but for first downs, they were 374 total first downs for the offense for the Buffalo Bills. And so, to me, the offense is going to stay the same. It's the defense that's going to probably be overhauled and everything. And, Jim Leonard, for the defense and everything, he played safety from 2005 to 2014. Played 10 seasons in the NFL for the Bills, the Ravens, the Jets, the Browns, and the Saints, and the Browns again. Oh, I'm sorry, Broncos. So it's Bills, Ravens, Jets, Broncos, Saints, and the Browns. He had 431 tackles, 14 interceptions, 4.5 sacks. He had 1,277 punt returns yards. Hey, welcome back to the Dan Miller Show. Um, you can see on the screen here that I'm sharing is that the salary cap is going up to 301.2 million to 305.7 million in 2026, which is increased to 22 to 27 million dollars from 2025. And originally was at 276. So for the Bills, that helps out a lot. And for us to do that, Bills have, can do some players without or restructure, like Josh Allen, maybe even Ty Johnson, because he has a year left. So we put another year on his contract, and, that'll help in 2027, but for 2026. I know if we did Josh Allen, which will probably happen again, it would save, 11 to 12 million dollars if we restructure. Then, we'll probably be about 5 to 10 million dollars over the salary cap. And then if we could structure Josh Allen's contract, that would also help the Buffalo Bills. And let's say that's $5 million, that we're over. If we do 11 to 12 for Josh Allen, then we're okay. Let's say, it's $11 million. Okay, 5 of it we're over. Okay, that drops down to $6 million that we're good, that we could use. And then you restructure other people. Let's say Ty Johnson, the running back, we get him another year, blah, blah, and then we'll worry about in 2027. Then the Bills, that would probably be another $2 million, maybe 2.2, but let's say $2 million. So now we're up to 8. If you get rid of Dawson Knox post June 1st, you're looking at 11 to 12 million dollars on that. Tyler Rapp, about $3 million on him. Get rid of him. Another $6 million for Curtis Samuel. Get rid of him. Tyler Bass, which Bean did say he was going to keep him. We do have future contracts with a kicker, so he will be competing for the job. But let's say, Tyler Bass, we cut him another $3 million. Matt Milano, I don't think we're re-signing him. He's probably going to play his career somewhere else next year in 2026. Where that be, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get him back. We'll see what Leonard wants to do and stuff like that. But all this and everything, the Bills could about $23 to $24 million in salary cap. Just, Knox, Rapp, Samuel, and Bass, and not re-signing Milano. You're looking at $23 to $24 million. So that's up to the Buffalo Bills what they want to do. I mean, it's $22 to $27 million more than last year, because last year was $279.2 million. This year they're projecting to $301.2 to $305.7 million. We won't know officially until later on. So probably maybe in a few weeks, next month, we got the combine and everything. You got March, you got the free agencies, and you can do trades and stuff like that pretty soon. Will the Bills be aggressive on the trades for a wide receiver, or would they do that in the draft? We'll have to wait and see what happens with that and everything. So hopefully we can do that as the Buffalo Bills and, here on the Dan Miller Show, you know, I'll try to bring that to you and stuff like that, and everything. And I'm recording this Tuesday, a couple days before the Super Bowl, 5 days to the Super Bowl. And for the Buffalo Bills, we could do that. So hopefully that the Buffalo Bills will do something, be aggressive. Now, is that being aggressive for, hey, I tried to get this guy, you know, like they did for the trade deadline, try to get Waddle, let's say. That's being aggressive, but they said no. You know what I mean? You know, I wanted it, and they said no. Or was it something else? You know what I mean? Being aggressive, but depends on how you're being aggressive. But are they going to be aggressive in the draft? You know, are they going to go from 26 pick all the way up to 10? You know what I mean? That's being aggressive. I don't think they're going to get higher than that. I mean, that's 16 spots. So, you know what I mean? 15, 16 spots, depending on where you know you end up landing. But you probably got your top 10 guys, wide receivers, linebackers, defensive end, you know, linemen, offensive linemen, tackles, guards, you know, maybe running back, you know, who knows, depending on what they do with Ray Davis. Sorry, it slipped my mind. You know, his production of 2024, you know, was really high, and for a rookie and everything, in his second year went down. But he also went to the Pro Bowl and everything for special teams. Does that help? You know, he was very good on punt coverage and punt returns or kickoff returns and everything. So hopefully that continues for the Buffalo Bills as they, you know, get wrapped up into this. So, but we'll have to see what happens with the salary cap, what they're going to do. Joe Brady, what's his offense? You know, we got the offensive coordinators, we got the special teams. So it's going to be interesting, more interesting than it has been for years for the Buffalo Bills. So stay tuned and to the Dan Miller Show and keep your ears out for it. So we can share that with you. I could share that with you guys, and you know, hit like, subscribe to the channel. But for the Buffalo Bills right now, we'll have to wait and see what happens. As far as the Super Bowl on Sunday, I am heartily rooting for the Seattle Seahawks. We don't want New England to win. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. This is, New England had the easiest, number one easiest schedule last year. They basically coast in. And then they were going to play a real good Denver team. Their defense was very good, but they didn't have their quarterback. Bo Nix broke his ankle during the Bills game, and they went in with the backup. If Bo Nix was playing that game, it's Denver versus Seattle. And that would have been great. I mean, hell, New England's talking trash about the Bills Mafia. You know what I mean? So you're worried about us, not the game on Sunday. So you keep doing that. You keep doing that. So hit the link, subscribe to this channel, rate and review if you listen to the audio on Spotify or Apple. So in the future of the Dan Miller Show, my next podcast will be next month. I will do a quick video on YouTube after the Super Bowl, but if anything major trades or something happen, I will do emergency pod. So keep your ears on. But as far as future, I will be doing once a month podcast. So every month, and until September. Actually August, I should say. And then it'll be once a week. Every Wednesday, I'll have a new podcast out. I'll do a quick one, reaction after the game, preseason and regular season and postseason next year. I want to go live for the first home game on YouTube here because it's going to be opening stadium. As right now, I am planning on going live, but I will keep you posted. It's further down from now, so but from between now and then, it'll be once a month and it'll be on a Wednesday. So keep your ear out, keep your eye out, and hopefully you guys do tune in and listen and see what I have to say. So you guys take care, and I will talk to you next month.